Hi, Mike Westbury from 180 Recruitment, based in Wellington, specialists in leadership roles across the construction and property sector in New Zealand. I wanted to take the time to take you through our new construction and property salary report, as there's lots of hidden things I wanted to take you through. And look, salaries are never 100% straightforward. I've often taken the time to sit down with key clients and take them through salaries, and it's just really important to dive into the detail, I guess. Look, I'm a really firm believer that staying on top of your own retention strategy is absolutely key. And in fact, we really only like dealing with companies that it's harder to deal with companies that are constantly replacing people, put it that way. But look, really keen to take you through this. So I guess, look, I'll start off with construction salaries. We've split that into a number of different areas of construction because everything's quite different. And first of all, I just want to really focus on the delivery roles, which is really the site roles, plus those project managers sitting in the office. So look, if I go through, first of all, construction manager, a lot of tier ones have gone away from construction manager and actually more had multiple project directors in charge of either a big project or multiple projects. So that construction manager role is almost becoming a little bit redundant, but we've still got those salaries and those figures there. Look, the same old of Auckland has a premium, Wellington next, and look, sorry, Christchurch, but I have thrown you into the regions as well. I just couldn't, we couldn't put it into every single location in the whole of New Zealand, but look, happy to have a chat about those in more depth. Then you get down to senior PM, and a good solid senior PM should still be on that sort of 150 to 180 in Wellington, a little bit more in Auckland. Projects are often bigger. And look, in project director, senior PM, and even project manager, it's all dependent on the project size, what they're running. Higher end, higher salary. Simple as that. I've always been really, really clear on that senior site manager role is, in terms of a hierarchy, almost at the same level as a project manager, totally different skill set. And hence that's why the salary level is exactly the same. A really good senior site manager should be paid the same as a project manager, in my mind. And once you get to site manager, it's kind of, do you want to become a senior site manager and really specialize in that, or move into the project management or other areas? Virtually all of these roles come plus a vehicle. These are base salaries, not packages. So I would put a vehicle on top of all of these, except for probably the last two, leading hand and health and safety advisor. Leading hand is quite a range. The other thing that I talk about is often a leading hand on $40, $45, $50 an hour, working 45, 50, 55 hours can actually earn more than a foreman. And I've had a number of conversations with people wanting to move into a salaried role as a foreman and say, look, you might actually take a little drop in salary to move up into this leadership management role. And most people understand that. If we go down, the next one is the commercial and pre-construction roles. And look, commercial manager seems to be sitting at about that sort of 250, 300 in Auckland, slightly lower, 220, 280 in Wellington. Senior QS sitting in those high hundreds for someone pretty competent. One thing we are seeing is on the big projects, 100 mil plus, they're having commercial managers just for that project. It's such a big project that it requires that, and it's still probably paying the same as what we've got here. Then we go through cadets. Cadets is an interesting one. I really feel like it's pretty hard to pay a grad much less than 60k these days. I guess the cadetship being a 3-year program typically should be coming out at about 90, 100. If you're not, they're liable to be picked up by someone else who sees the value in them at that level. So that cadet increase as you go through really needs to happen. Senior estimators are key to any business. They make you the money, essentially, and that flows down to estimator. Planner is quite a range. Typically, though, you don't get a junior planner. Typically, a planner is someone who's pretty experienced and knows what they're doing, hence why that sort of upper range. Pre-construction manager is at that same level as commercial and construction manager, but just slightly less, generally a smaller team that they're running. And services engineer, likewise to the planner, usually quite experienced people. PQS roles look similar to your on-site QS, just slightly less. Typically, being able to sit in a nice, warm, cozy office and work slightly more normal hours has a reflection in the pay. At associate director level, you are probably getting into profit share and bonuses based on company profits at that point. Then we get into property, and these first roles are really the project management and development management roles. So this is across project management consultancies, developers, and in-house or client-side project managers as well. Associate director, very similar probably to your PQS. There's a lot of crossover there. Project directors seem to sit in that kind of 180 to 250, depending on location. And then we go down to your APMs, probably similar to that cadetship, that rockets up to that sort of 100, 110, 120 level pretty quickly. The development managers is base salary. What I always say about development managers are they could and should be able to double their base based on bonuses on the projects. Now, right now, we're not really seeing those sort of bonuses. They'd be lucky to get sort of another 50, 100K maybe, depending on which projects they're working. But in the heat of the market, when those projects are all go, they can earn some pretty significant income. And that flows down into the DMs and ADMs as well. Support roles, very, very critical. And although we do leadership roles, we also do these roles because they're so critical and such a different skill set to get someone good. And you'll see reflected by these salaries. So these are people with construction or property experience. They know what they're doing in that space. They know how to read some plans and work with your architects or your engineers to get the projects done. Project coordinator flows down to project administrator, down to a base level administrator. And look, again, a good project coordinator in Wellington, 70 to 80, slightly more in Auckland. And they're more sort of like they're more your PA and coming from a PA EA background potentially. And then you got office manager and ops manager as well. So look, I really hope that this has helped in some way. Really keen to get any specific questions if there's anything. I love getting into the detail if you want to find out like what a finishing foreman gets paid compared to someone with a structural background. Really, really keen to get into that and any specific regions that you might want to know about. But as I was putting this together, I just felt it was really important to just highlight some of those key points there. Hey, look, I'll finish up there, but really appreciate the opportunity, and hopefully speak soon.